Yeah, righto. Okay, guys, I have to make this video because I've got to explain. So there's this, what has appeared in recent years has been a massive movement on social media about this old money style. And these people, none of them understand a damn thing. I'm going to explain it to you. I hope you can see me. I'm going to explain to you what it is because I know a few of them and they ain't like the social media says. So the social media, the old money, it conjures up almost like a Titanic picture of a bygone era. It's something like, where's my beer? Ugh. Ugh. I knew a guy, he was a bit of an alcoholic. In the morning, I wanted to play tennis and he went to his fridge. He was like, just need to take a sip, some vodka or something. Anyway, guys, so they conjure up a picture of something like you're on the Titanic or something, and wow, all these clothes, it has to be top quality, all this, all that. The answer is yeah, no. Firstly, with old money, you will only see those clothes if it's a special occasion. Then something clicks in their heads and they bring out the old clothes. And it's part autism. It's part that they actually haven't bothered to buy new clothes because they've been provided for in their life. So a lot of the clothes might be dad's clothes or grandpa's clothes, not necessarily because it's quality, but because they're stingy. And stinginess is the key to understanding the entire old money movement. But not one of these people, they're all like, you got to buy the brands, you got to buy this quality, you got to buy that quality, you got to buy it. No, this stuff's accumulated over several generations and lifetimes, and piece by piece, while wearing normal clothes. They all, okay, I'll tell you a few stories. I have so many stories. One guy, okay, I used to run a tour business, walking tours. I was in front of a huge old pub in the city, just north of the city. It even has the stables next to it for the horses. It's an incredible survival. And I was giving my tour and I noticed a guy hanging around looking, and he had a jumper half fallen apart with holes in it. And I started chatting it to him. And then I asked a strange question. I said, "Are you the owner?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't look like it, but I am." The stinginess is key to understanding it. And once you understand stingy, you start to understand the whole movement. I want the quality clothes because I don't want to spend money in future. I'll repair these clothes with needle and thread because I paid this much money 20 years ago. It's got a hole in it, but it's top quality. That's me a bit. A top quality jumper. I got a Scottish Pringle jumper. And I bought it from an op shop and I thought this is really nice. I've even bought some like cotton yarn just to repair it with the needle and thread. It looks crap. It looks terrible. But I thought, hell yeah, it's this Scottish wool. You can't beat it with anything at any shop that you drive around to, even the good ones. So once you understand the need to save money that's passed on generation to generation, suddenly it makes sense. This is why they drive old cars. This is why they spend on holidays rather than on stuff, because they understand that happiness is from experiences, because they're philosophers as well. And it starts to explain all their behaviors. It explains why they don't wash their cars much. It's because you're wasting time equals money, right? It's stinginess. I know one guy, his house that he grew up in was just sold for 20 million. And we were both selling books on eBay, right? And he's stingy over $2.50. If the postage is wrong, he'll go back to the customer and say, "Excuse me, mate, you have could you pay an extra $2 because you're sending it, say, to a PO box, and eBay doesn't calculate that as extra postage, or a parcel locker, right?" And I'm thinking, why is this guy doing it? Why? What's wrong with him? I know one guy, and he used to have a vineyard, right? And he wears a cap, and this baseball cap. This thing what do you call this? The visor is a half fallen off, but he still wears it because he's saving money. That's it. And that explains the fashion. It's too good. Not because it's old in quality, not because the garment is old in quality, but because it's too good to throw away. And they're hoarders as well. They can be hoarders. So this guy also, very sentimental about his parents who passed away. He won't throw out their clothes. He'll pay storage locker fees for the clothes just to keep the clothes. So it's about hoarding, it's about stinginess. And these are some of the negative things about old money that none of these YouTube influencers have a clue about. They think it's all flair. For starters, this flair is only for special occasions. Otherwise, they're going to wear normal clothes. They'll wear their Temu clothes on normal days, but then you'll see on a special occasion, suddenly they're dressed different. Suddenly they have these clothes, they think, I may as well use them. And that's what it's all about. It's about the stinginess. By the way, this guy that I know who's stingy with the cash, yeah, they'll keep things. They'll own a warehouse just to keep old furniture. They'll own a warehouse. They'll even rent a warehouse just to put their old furniture in it, even if they're losing money on it, because they actually can't throw stuff away. So part of the reason they're wearing the old quality clothes their grandparents had is because they're physically incapable of throwing it out. So I'm just explaining some of the negatives here because there's this huge movement online about on Insta, I think on TikTok, and these guys don't have a clue. They don't have a clue what's driving it, what it really is. If it's not broken, don't throw it out. I don't care about the fashion because I'm a bit different anyway. I'm a bit different from the regular public. And why would I buy something that's cheap, something that's low quality, just if it's new, if it's only going to last me 5 washes and then it's going to fluff up and peel and all this? Why would I do that? It's based on being practical with money, being good with money, but what we call really stingy. If it gets to a certain stage, it's a bit too much. That's what's driving it. That explains everything. That explains everything about them. It's known that middle class will fastidiously weed their lawn. They will keep it at a certain length. Meanwhile, the old money, they sort of, they don't do much gardening. They live behind huge trees, especially in UK. Huge trees, hedges of trees. That means, oh, that's the aristocracy, right? But not only that, the grass is long. They're not going to waste money on cutting the grass. What's the point? And they even economize in basic relations because they're as blunt as what you'd call the working classes. They're just as blunt, just as direct. They're not going to sugar pill it like the middle class will. The middle class is sort of, you could call it, it's basically the hyacinth bouquet is what the middle class. That's what it is. Because they got there and they're trying to be higher. The old money, they got nowhere else to go and they don't want to be like everyone else anyway. So they'll wear their unique clothes. I don't want to look like everyone else. Why should I? That's it. That explains everything. But it's really based around how they got there in the first place, the fact they're good with money and they're not going to throw out something that's good, even if it's out of fashion. So in other words, being careful with money is more important than Maslow's hierarchy, more important than the fashion. Middle class, the fashion is more important than being careful with money. So they're on top because they're careful with money first. And that explains everything about old money. They're not saying it, and because they're not saying it, they're skipping out on what the old money clothes really are, which is lots of repaired shoes, shoe glue, even patches in clothing. That was a 20th century thing, but I think it's still being done. I've done it myself. I think it's fine. I don't want to look like all the riffraff, you know, I don't want to look like them. Who wants to look, you know, who wants to look the same as everyone else? Who wants to be the same as everyone? Do you? Do you? Anyway, guys, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. That's how it is, basically. They might have like a new Porsche and they'll wear old clothes. Because it all boils down to the money's on top. That explains all of their behaviour. Guys, thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed. I guess I'll put this in the fridge and save it for the next video. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, probably in 2 weeks' time. Cheers. I'm not finished. I don't know why I always do this, but I'm not finished. Sorry, we have to get back to it. Hi, how you doing? So, okay, I was at I was presenting at a history conference. Wow. Yeah. In Leeds, in England. Yeah. In 2016. And the Germans, when they were presenting their stuff, I forget what it was about. I think it was even about pirates or something. Something about pirates. Oh, yeah, that's right. They were using computers to find that Matthew Paris, the chronicler, we've discussed him and his maps, perfectly line across UK up and down, left and right, like the English flag. They found out by computer analysis of writing types that he had 12 scribes working for him to write those manuscripts. Anyway, I think this was a German team. And they were dressing like brown. So the Germans, they seem to have the brown suits. So, and of course it's 10 years ago, so the fashion's already changed, but it was stuff you'd only see on the Königsallee in Dusseldorf. So Königsallee, basically, to break it down, there's a canal in the middle, and the shops either have men's suits or Nike sneakers, but they're done up, they're custom with the shiniest bits of bling on them that you've ever seen. And everyone walking on that street looks like the clothes they're selling in the shops, the same as our Collins Street here in the city. People wearing suits on Collins Street, they're selling suits. No, you don't see the suits anywhere else, right? So anyway, and I said to a German friend, how come they're wearing sort of brown, they look almost like Harris tweed, like wool, brown coats, trousers, even brown shoes. I thought I like brown way better, way more stylish than the Melbourne black, the New York black, or any of these. Brown is a really good style. Germans like it. And I asked a very clever German friend, why they dress like this? And she said, oh, that's German upper class. Right. German upper class is huge. They had hundreds of kingdoms as late as the 19th century, hundreds of different kingdoms and millions of aristocrats. And lots of their families there, they continue to preserve, they keep up the tradition. They're like, they don't think of themselves as more special, but they're like, oh, you know, we've got this family history, let's keep up appearances, why not? So they do, some of them do. And so that's another way to do old money. Just dress in a really nice suit and keep it conservative. They were even conservative, trying to be like the English academics of, say, the 1940s. And people from other countries at the conference, they were not really bothering so much about that. On a side note, I'd arrived from the continent, and on the continent it was 30 degrees every day, so I came in shorts and t-shirt. And I didn't know that Yorkshire is 16 degrees every day in midsummer. So one professor looked at me, saw my name tag, and he said, oh, Australia, that explains your clothing. Right. Okay, isn't that funny? All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you. So this is Little Peninsula Tunnel. The gold prospectors diverted the creek, Yarra River, into this 100 years ago in order to look for gold on the riverbed. Hey, hey. Ancient ruins. Yeah.